from a recruiting standpoint, I think making the move now actually helps in that you can't sell a head coach to your current commits and would-be commits to say, this is going to be the next head coach. You can't do that. But if you feel confident, and I don't know if Miami has this person on the staff, if you feel confident enough in whoever you name as the interim coach and basically guarantee them you are going to be retained, you're a very valuable fill in the blank, linebackers coach, secondary coach, whatever you are, to guide this home through the rest of the season. And we're going to retain you so you can actively recruit. You're going to be here. And at least while Miami candidates, meaning recruits who are being recruited actively by Miami, don't know who the next head coach is going to be, at least they know that there is going to be a different head coach. Mm-hmm. That has been decided. They're not being recruited by Manny Diaz and his staff thinking, is he even going to be here? They at least know I'm committing myself to this program, this tradition, whatever I love about this school and its legacy and everything involved, location. I'm committing to that and hoping that they upgrade the head coaching position.
Yeah, but then you're going to probably see a lot of guys not sign. You're going to see some guys who were early enrollee track not do that. You're going to see guys like Cody Brown, who got out of his NLI after he signed at Tennessee, and then they fired their coach after he signed early, get out of their NLIs. And then you're already seeing movement on the trail. Traquan Fagans, decommitted. Kamari Rogers, who's been committed forever, he's taking official visits elsewhere the next couple of weeks. I think it's Ole Miss and – because he's from Mississippi. I think it's like Ole Miss and Tennessee that he's taking visits to. Both are teams that are playing better in Miami right now. Jaden Gibson, the wide receiver from West Orange High School, committed to Florida like we all thought that he would, even though he had 17 million hats on the table. But that was real. That was fake, I should say. Like, nobody really thought that he was considering all 12 or 15 schools or whatever hats that he had out there. That's asinine. But like, then you see other guys are just going on and picking other places. The linebacker from Nebraska, Devin Jackson, who was down to Nebraska and Miami, looked around and was just like, you know what? I feel like giving Oregon a call. After I said that I was down to my last two, I took those 2 official visits. I had a commitment date and then said, I don't know. And then he goes and commits out there. It's things like that. So, I mean, there's already been negative fallout. And it's just been, and any chatter that you were hearing about Miami previously or coming into the season on the trail is deader than a doorknob. So, I mean, yeah, you can potentially spin the recruiting into a different direction if you move on from a coach. But you see more of a bump in their first full class than the class that they would be salvaging to the end. So, who knows?
To the super chat from Sigmund. Thank you so much for that, Sigmund. Appreciate your contribution. Mr. Underwood, well, if you were AD, what would be your first 3 moves?
Number 1, I get a new football coach. So this is a 2-part move. So I'm firing Manny Diaz and I'm bringing in insert new coach, whether that's Lane or Mario or whomever. That's move number 1. Move number 2, I'm getting rid of Gino DeMari as baseball coach, and I'm bringing in Greg Lovelady, former Miami catcher, has been at Wright State. A couple of my cousin's friends from Detroit used to play, and they played for Wright State when they went to college, and that's a program that's been to the NCAAs. They routinely go down to SEC country or Southern ACC country, and they win the opening series every year. This is a team that's 45-12 over years and years and years, developing guys, getting them drafted into the minors. None have made it to the majors yet, but still just upgrading the level. And he's a Miami alum. You bring him back here, then hopefully we get the baseball program going back in a positive direction as well. 1, Diaz is going to get a new coach. 2, DeMari, I don't care that his dad is on the board of trustees. He's gone because he don't got the range. I'm bringing in Greg Lovelady. That's the easy, quick question. Did Greg Lovelady get a new job already? Did he go to UCF or something? Maybe. Wherever he is, I go get Greg Lovelady. Boom. And then I let him do his thing. Number 3. That is a really good question because the first two were right at the top of my brain. I was trying to think of a third one as I went down those first two answers. Um, Part of me wants to say a different head coaching change, but I don't know. I don't know because like it's about the men's basketball team. It's about Jim Larinaga because there's times where I don't really like what's going on with the basketball program, but it's they've been underperforming recently, but there's been a lot of injuries and things too, like just freak things that have kind of taken some guys out of action, and that has had a negative impact on the result. I would like to see the recruiting in basketball be a little bit different because obviously he's from the Northeast, so we're very DC, Philly, New Jersey heavy in the recruiting world for basketball. We're going after some of those AAU guys. I know that we're in the conversation for a lot of 5 stars like Jalen Duran, who went to Memphis, was the #1 overall player. You got Amani Bates. He had Miami in his final group. You've had other guys having Miami in their final group for basketball recruiting, which is kind of crazy. But we haven't really gotten any other than, I mean, we got Lonnie Walker. He was here for a year and then bolted like he should have. Bruce Brown, he was another 5-star guy, but he was a post-grad guy, so he was old for his year coming out of post-grad, which is why he left after 2 years. You got Earl Timberlake as a top 20, top 10 kind of recruit, but he played here for 1 year, got injured and left. Chris Likes was here for 3 years. He was the WCAC Basketball Player of the Year over Markelle Fultz, who ended up being the #1 overall pick in the NBA draft. But in high school, in their league, their Catholic league, Chris Likes won the award over him in the same year. Obviously, at 5'7", the trajectory of his career was going to be different than Fultz, but it speaks to the kind of talent that he had. But he got injured after, in his third year, and he left. So I'm probably either going for a change at men's basketball coaches I've been talking about. If not that, I would have to think about it. But I mean, my #1 and 2, new football coach, new baseball coach, and then because I'm thinking about it off the top of my head, and that's a great question because it's really had me going. Either a new basketball coach or something else if I think of something else down the line.